place on May 21st at the St. Regis Hotel in Singapore. Just a little background on Whisky Live. Whisky Live's existed for, I think, about 11 or 12 years now, and happens in 11 different cities around the world, so pretty major cities like Tokyo, New York, Paris, London, Edinburgh, Johannesburg, Taipei, and Singapore since 2010. It's a worldwide franchise of basically whiskey appreciation festivals. So we as a company are very much interested in whiskey, and so we own the franchise for Singapore and for Paris also, where we've organized 7 events now. So it's basically a yearly whiskey tasting, which has expanded somewhat to other spirit categories, but still very much whiskey focused. This year's edition, like I said, is going to be the 3rd edition. There's some new things that are going to happen which didn't happen in the past. First of all, there's a theme this year, which is the connoisseur experience. The idea behind the theme being that we want to give people kind of a more immersive experience, and we want them to try things or try ways of tasting whiskey that are different and that we hope will please them a lot. So that being said, on top of the normal things that happen at Whisky Live, by that I mean the tasting booths where brands present their products, the master classes. We also are going to have a few ongoing events during Whisky Live, of which we'll have a pastry and whiskey tasting experience. The pastry chef from the St. Regis Hotel is going to put together some whiskey-infused pastries, chocolates, and whatnot to taste. We'll have a cheese and whiskey pairing. That's something that's completely new. It actually works brilliantly. I'm really excited to have that. We're going to have a blind tasting experience where we're going to have 5 whiskeys from 5 different countries that you taste blind. And then people will write down what they think is which country. And at the end, we'll have a draw to see for one of the winners to win the whole set of 5 bottles. We're also giving brands this year the opportunity to create their own experience. So there's going to be 3 brand experiences within the event where the 3 brands, Glenmorangie, Dewar's, and Glenlivet, are going to create their own booths and their own experience. So I'll have the respective people talk about that a little more in detail. And yeah, so that's about all I can think of. There's still the pop-up bars like there was last year. One of the 2 pop-up bars is going to be featuring Monkey 47 exclusively. That's a gin from the Black Forest in Germany. The owner of the brand is going to be in town, so we're going to have a monkey bar this year. Another pop-up cocktail bar, the Whisky Live shop, where you can buy everything that's on display at the show. If you taste it, you like it, you can buy a bottle at a discounted price. I'm trying to think, is there anything I've missed?
Cheese?
Mention that. Yeah, okay. That's about it.
Details in the press release.
Yes, everything's written up in the press release. Since you guys came all the way down here, we thought we'd have to taste some things while we're at it. A few things which 3 out of 4 will be featured at Whisky Live. The 4th one you'll understand why we're tasting it. The first one that we're tasting is a Glenmorangie orange zest. How do I call it? So, the orange zest serve. Thank you. Where basically this is something that you'll be seeing in.
Yeah.
This is possible.
Oh.
Very elegant. Sorry.
Do you want to talk about the tall zest serve?
Hi everybody, my name is Aaron. I represent MHD and in particular Glenmorangie and Hennessy. This tall zest serve was essentially developed for low to medium energy lounge bars. As you can imagine, this wouldn't really work in a club because service, etc. The waiters generally cannot keep up. The whole point of this is to bring out the fruitiness of Glenmorangie Original. Glenmorangie Original is made from, Glenmorangie has the tallest stills in Scotland. So essentially the notes that come out of it are very light. It is the kind of whiskey that you would want to have the first thing after work.
Can I just interrupt? For those of you who aren't super whiskey geeks, it's kind of counterintuitive because really tall stills actually, the distillate tends to be a lot fruitier than the short stumpy stills. So yeah, like I said, kind of counterintuitive. So in the case of Glenmorangie, the base distillate and the whiskey that you get once it's bottled is always very fruit driven, with, depending on the expressions, more fresh fruit or more dried fruit kind of.
Also, just on that note, from a peat perspective, it's got two peats per part, or two parts per milligram,
Yeah.
essentially. Versus Artback, which is also owned by Glenmorangie Company, which is the peatiest is 38.
It depends on the expressions, but yeah.
38. It's
much-
roughly
much
38.
more
So it's on the complete end of the graph. And with the orange zest, if you can have a sip later on, you'll notice that the orange zest really brings out the expressions within the original flavor. Yeah, please enjoy.
So, yeah, thank you. For those of you, if you're not really used to tasting whiskey, 90% of the experience happens on the nose. That's why we use these specific glasses, because they're perfect for nosing whiskey. So try to spend time actually nosing and smelling and see what you pick up. Unlike a wine, you don't decant a whiskey, because part of the whole tasting experience is to actually let it open up, let it air out, if I may, in the glass. So you can smell it, swirl it around, smell it again. You'll see that you'll get a lot of different notes, through it. So it's kind of like wine tasting, but with more emphasis on the actual nosing part. And then the actual sipping and tasting is, quote unquote, to confirm what you've already nosed. How many of you guys are familiar with the Glenmorangie original? Show of hands quickly, yeah? Okay. So Glenmorangie has different types of expressions. They have age statement expressions, like the 10-year-old original, the 18-year-old, or the 25-year-old. And they also have a whole range of cask finish products, where they use different types of casks to enhance the flavor of the whiskey, like sherry casks, port casks, Sauterne casks, etc., etc. This expression here, there's no specific indication of what the aging is. I'm guessing it's a mix of different types of casks. Are we good? Right. There's a lot of caraway seed notes on that. So, cheers guys. Enjoy. Thanks for coming. So this specific way of serving the Glenmorangie original will be available at Whisky Live at the Glenmorangie.
So how will it be served? They'll be container like that, and then you go out.
I don't know how they're going to figure out the logistics of